History buffs. Bench press a Nazi U-boat. History buffs. Kill 1,000 fucking redcoats. History buffs. Hardcore history's a joke, and Kyle is a bitch. He don't want this fucking smoke, yeah.
Yo, welcome to History Buffs. My name's Pepper.
My name's Phil.
This is a history podcast. So, I guess this is probably going to be episode 1. Phil, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Phil Cron. Very, very smart, very talented individual. I am, in fact, a seasoned history buff. I watch cartoons on history. I learn about history. Sometimes I learn about history in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be really fun, and we're gonna drink beer while we do it.
Aren't you in a band too?
I'm in a bunch. Yeah, I'm in, of course I'm in a band. I'm in a hard rock. What are you, a hard rock band? What do you think? Is it
Sure.
hard alt rock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
College kids will probably dig it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Called Transient out of New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a big deal. Look it up.
Transient.
Yep, we're in the famous Cron Studios here in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, doing this high-end production with high-end microphones, high-end preamps. It's a setup. It's very impressive.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
My name is Pepper Goins, host of the Rushmore podcast. That's pretty much all I got going on. I don't have a cool band or anything.
You're not in a band?
No.
Should join a band, bro.
No, fuck being in a band. Fuck having to deal with other people and shit.
Yeah.
I hate being in a band.
It's like being in like a club.
Yeah. It's fun, I would say 10% of the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you have fun at practice every once in a while, and then shows are obviously fucking fun.
Yeah.
But, like, even shows, like, load in, sitting around waiting to play, that's not fun. That's horrible.
No.
What's even worse is after you play, you got to break down, and then fucking usually you got to sit around. You can't just leave after you play.
Right.
You got to sit around and wait to get paid or whatever.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's horrible. I'm starting to rethink this whole thing.
Yeah.
The reason I do it is for those 30 seconds on stage that everything just works.
Yeah.
Everything comes together. Everything's popping. The crowd's popping. The band's popping. And you're in that moment of euphoria.
Yeah.
That's why I do it.
It's
Because everything else does suck. And it's very expensive to be. If you want to be in a somewhat successful out there band, it's very expensive.
yeah.
Because you got to advertise. You can't just start a band and go play shows. You could. You're not going to go anywhere.
No. Yeah, you'll be a fucking, I don't want to name any names, but you'll be a
Like
local band forever.
Yes, and I do not want to be that. It's very depressing. I'm a little older now. I'm not
But
19.
hey, it's fun if that's what you want to do.
Sure.
That's fucking awesome. Like, it is fun. Like, whatever. But, yeah. Nah, fuck playing in a band. I'd rather write songs about sucking dick and, just entertain myself. And then if anybody else likes it, all right, cool.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
fuck
it's a
all
good
that.
idea. So what this podcast is obviously it's about history. In each episode, we're going to dive into a different history topic, and basically, we're going to learn as we go.
Hey, we're all learning together, okay?
Yeah, we're all going to learn together. We're going to make mistakes. We're not going to pronounce stuff right. We're going to make clerical errors that we will follow up in the following episode and correct them if we can, and we'll probably correct them with the wrong information again. It's just going to be fun.
This is not one of those podcasts where me and Phil are like standing at the front of the classroom telling you guys what the fuck's going on. This is we're all learning together.
We're all going to learn together, and we're going to give our opinions about this stuff. And sometimes they're going to be controversial opinions, okay? Because we're dealing with a lot of different countries, and we're just two dumb white dudes in Mississippi, and that doesn't help with our outlook of things. But we're going to do our best. I think it's going to go very well.
And to explain the name History Buffs, basically we're just both jacked. So that's just where that it's fun. It's fun, I guess.
Yeah.
And hey, I already hear your criticism. Oh, but Pepper, there's already 10 other podcasts named that. It's like, well, guess what? They're all dead for one. So fuck them.
It's true. We looked it up.
We're like just like in the Civil War when the flag boy got shot in the face. Guess what? Another person would pick up that flag and raise it and lead the troops, and that's what we're doing.
Yep.
So all the other History Buff podcasts that are dead, some of y'all are probably listening to this because you're pissed off. That's fine. Here's the deal. You fucking suck. You couldn't get past 1 or 7 episodes or whatever. So, good job, figuring out how to make an iTunes account and posting a podcast. Good job. That's a lot of work. I know that's a lot of work.
Yeah, way to go.
Congratulations. But guess what? Other than that, you fucking suck. So
Here's a fun fact for you. Every country that's been formed has conquered somebody. There you go. That's the first bad information we've put out there because that's obviously not true.
where are you going with this?
I was going to make a joke about... we'll edit this out. I was going to make a joke
No,
about...
there's no editing. Come on, man. Explain the joke. Make it funny.
Every podcast has to be conquered by another podcast, right?
That's not true.
Oh, okay.
Antarctica ain't never... Well, is Antarctica a country? I don't think so.
It's a continent.
Yeah.
There's got to be a country up there. Somebody owns
No,
it.
I don't think
You
there
can't
is.
just go up there and build a house. can
No,
you?
I think it's like for real. Like nobody owns it. I think it's just there.
So I can just go up there and like claim some shit and call it Finland or something.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's come up with a better name for your country for sure.
Philtopia.
Well, I was thinking about Kronistan.
Yeah, Kronistan. Yeah,
That's not bad.
it'll be a Muslim country.
Yeah.
We'll discriminate against all
Yeah.
non-Muslims.
Yeah. We'll have an insurgency war But hey, if you live on Antarctica, there's nobody coming to fuck with you.
It's true.
I mean, it'd be like the most peaceful place ever. The only problem is it's wildly expensive to live in Antarctica because
Goods.
the entire landscape is trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It's just passively deadly.
Yeah, polar bears. You can't get pizza up there.
Well, that's not even that. It's because there aren't polar bears on Antarctica. I'm pretty sure. I think those are on the North Pole. I don't think they're down there.
Okay.
Hey, like we said before, we're wrong a bunch.
Right.
Fucking deal with it. But it's the only continent that doesn't have any permanent residents. Did you know Metallica played a concert on Antarctica?
I had no idea. Is that true?
Yes.
I figured I'd know about that.
It's for purely the reason is just because we wanted to say that we've performed on all 7 continents.
Huh.
So they pulled a big dick move and went and played. But do you know who lives on Antarctica?
Mm-mm.
It's all fucking nerds. It's just a bunch of scientists and shit.
Oh yeah, those guys. I
Yeah.
hate those guys.
So they just played a fucking concert for a bunch of fucking autistic dudes that like ice
Yeah.
and
Because they're stuck there and their wives are probably cheating on them. Their kids don't know them.
100%.
Yeah, they're probably making good money though.
Probably $300K a year, maybe.
Because what they do is they drill down into ice and shit, and they say, "Hey, this iceberg's 100 years old." That's all they do, right?
Yeah. There's a guy for that for sure. There's another guy who's probably like, oh, these penguins. This one's gay.
Yeah, and they got to research that and
Yeah.
then give that penguin equal rights and all that.
Yeah.
It's fucking boring. Anyway, let's get into this, sir.
Oh, you want to get into it now? I think is that enough explanation up top for if this was our first episode?
Yeah,
I think it is.
And I'll tell you what. At the end of this, if we feel indifferent about it, we can.
There's no obligation. All right, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Yeah, we're rolling.
Are we recording?
We are.
We are.
Yep.
Okay. God damn it! You're gonna have so much work to edit it out.
It's okay. It's no
Alright.
big deal.
Phil, what are we doing this episode?
Man, we're gonna do. We're gonna touch on Pearl Harbor, but we're really gonna dive into the kamikaze pilots of World War II, back in the 1944-ish era, and everything they went through.
From what I was reading earlier, it looks like the first kamikaze quote unquote pilot was actually from the Pearl Harbor attack, where like some motherfucker got his plane shot up so bad that like there was no returning home, and he just said, "Well, this is the whole plane's a weapon now, and we're just gonna crash this motherfucker into the deck and see what happens."
Right. That was the idea. Because back then you didn't want to get captured. It's not like now. You get captured, you get five course meal.
They specifically didn't want to be captured.
Yeah.
Because number one, so there was a shit ton of Japanese propaganda that the Americans were like these evil monsters that if you got captured, they would fucking do all kinds of heinous shit. When in reality, they were the ones doing fucked up shit.
Very
Our
rude.
POW camps have always been like pretty chill. Comparatively,
Comparatively.
Comparatively?
I was gonna say
I mean Andersonville and stuff like that. Like hey, it's not. We're not winning awards.
Yeah. Yeah, and I didn't do much research on the Japanese POW camps, but I imagine they were pretty rough
Not
back
good.
then. Because we talked about some Japanese imperialists, and they were very rude people.
Yeah,
You
Unit 731. Go look that up.
Yeah, good lord.
If you're super cool with the Imperial Japanese, go look that up.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not cool.
They're killing kids. It's terrible. I don't like it.
But apparently, after that initial attack, this is how I understand it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But after that initial attack with Pearl Harbor, the General Yakamoto or whatever his name was, I guess he was like super hype over that, and he was like, "Yo, check out what this guy did. This guy ran out of bullets. He was low on fuel. He wasn't gonna make it back. So what did he do? He fucking crashed his shit into the shit.
Yeah.
So, guys, come on, people need to step up and be like this guy. Use this guy as an example, and so I guess they made like a whole. What happened after that, Phil?
Oh well, they made the whole idea of the kamikaze pilot, and it basically, if your number got pulled and you were ordered to crash your plane into the enemy, you had to do it, and you better do it, or they'll probably what they do? Cut their head off, shoot them, firing range, probably something really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know. We're going to dive into it because we got the damn paperwork right in front of us.
Yeah, that's the other thing about this podcast. We use Wikipedia articles, anything else. I mean, we're not sitting here doing fucking research like a bunch of goddamn nerds. We're just looking up Wikipedia articles and rolling with it.
And I was told, and God forbid I'd be wrong on this, by old historian, that they welded the cabs of some of the planes shut.
Okay, well, Phil, hold on real quick.
Are we-
When you say historian, please expound upon that.
Basically, an old guy that talks too much.
Yeah.
He's not a historian. He's just an old guy that talks a lot. He said, he's like, hey, interesting fact. And I don't know if this is true. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm probably not wrong
Well,
because I
hey,
believe this guy.
let's not even this. This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They used Korean POWs, right? And gave them Japanese names. Welded the cab shut so they couldn't eject out of the planes, and disabled the landing gear. So there was no coming back. And they made all these promises about their family. Who knows if that came true? Probably not. I don't know. Japanese people seem like they're true to their word. Their streets are really clean, so I believe them.
Okay.
I don't
know how you connected all those dots.
Yeah, but basically they would put extra missiles and stuff on their planes. So when they did crash their planes, the explosion would be a lot bigger.
Yeah, they did load their planes down with bombs and shit. But okay, here's my issues with your friend's little theory right there. Why not use solely like Korean POWs? Like, why don't you use some Chinese ones too?
I don't know, Pepper. I don't know why they use Korean POWs. Maybe because they were racist against Koreans. We're gonna have to look into that.
They didn't like the Chinese either.
They had 100,000 Koreans.
The rape of Nanking. Look it up.
Yeah.
They weren't a fan of the Chinese either.
Very rude.
Yeah, and everybody. Well, I'm not gonna say everybody, but people wonder like, oh, why don't Chinese people like Japanese people? It's like, I don't know. Maybe there's a long history of the Japanese being fucking brutal to all of their neighbors. I mean, I'll say this: Japan, one of the worst neighbors of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Like historically, I mean,
Yeah.
But hey, I'll say this too: as far as a country doing a complete 180 and going from where they were, and that's why whenever I talk about it, I always say the Imperial Japanese, because it's a very well-defined era of Japan. Like Japan now, they're cool as shit.
Yeah, very, very, very cool. Very
Yeah.
nice people. They're doing great in the video game industry. A lot of good things that they're doing over there.
Dude,
They make
Nissans.
they make some killer motorcycles. They make some killer exhaust systems for little small
They make
cars.
everything.
Yeah, mufflers. Like,
As far
it's
as
great.
like technological innovation, like name somebody who's done better. Us, but I mean name like a number 2 maybe.
Yeah, they're China probably just because they have more people and more resources and they don't care about environmental laws. We'll get into that some other day. But the whole point of Japan attacking Pearl Harbor is supply lines. It all comes down to supply lines because they wanted oil from a certain group of countries, and there was a country right beside their supply route called the Philippines, which was a U.S. territory in this time. It was it was a lot of they had some bases over there, and they also had, I forget what island it was, starts with M, I forgot. And then they had Guam, and then more off to the east was Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, where they had all their battleship stations. And the idea was to sink or attack enough ships to where it would take the U.S. 6 months to recover.
Yeah.
And 6 months is what the Japanese needed to get their oil reserves up and to get their supplies of what they needed. And then they would wait for a counterattack, and then it would be basically a naval battle. And Japan at that time had a pretty serious navy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They were trying to take out the American Navy in the Pacific. And the American Navy was not anywhere close to what it is now back in 1942.
No.
I mean, we were fucking scrubs, but we were a little bit shorthanded. We didn't have a ton of aircraft carriers, which is that's the real motherfucker of a Navy is aircraft carriers. And it was a good idea, for them.
Yeah. Problem was they missed a lot. And they missed a lot of really important targets.
Yeah.
They missed a lot of the bigger boats that they should have hit. They hit a lot of the boats that didn't mean anything to the U.S. A lot of planes were shot down.
Yeah.
Because I read that the second wave got there 30 or 40 minutes after the first wave, and it gave the Americans time to get on their gunners and shot a bunch of them down. And then that's when they started flying their planes directly. When they ran out of firepower, they'd fly their planes into the ships. That, or if they had sustained enough damage, they'd fly into one of the boats. And they also were shooting torpedoes at the boats, which were highly effective. Highly effective.
Yeah.
And
Their torpedoes were absolute shit, though.
yeah.
Torpedo technology back then. I think we were talking about a 19% hit rate with the kamikazes.
Yeah.
Torpedoes is almost less than that. It's
Yeah.
fucking horrible.
Yeah, they missed a bunch.
Even us though.
Yeah.
The U.S. torpedoes weren't much better.
Yeah, half of all the American lives lost in Pearl Harbor was on one particular boat. And that is because they hit one of the guns on the boat, and it hit one of the magazine clips, causing a massive explosion,
Yeah.
causing that boat to sink.
Not a magazine clip. It was.
Okay, when I say
The
magazine
magazine.
clip, the magazine.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about guns.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of numbers involved. Just call it a name. I don't know. Let's figure this out.
But yeah, that's a bad place to hit.
Yeah, bad place to hit. And that was over 1,200 people that died on that boat. That boat was packed full of Navy guys, and they all went down with that ship. That didn't work out too well. But the aftermath of all that, and I'm kind of skipping through here. We'll get back to it. But it kind of didn't work out for the Japanese because what a propaganda machine that was for the U.S. Army and U.S. Navy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Everybody was jumping to sign up because they publicized the hell out of it. The little guys in the hats on the corner of the streets waving the newspaper around, Call it propaganda, call it reporting. It's probably propaganda back then.
Well, it was. Yeah, I mean it's propaganda. That and a bunch of U.S. industry shifted to help with the war.
Yep.
So if you're making, say, you're fucking. Wait, do you know there was a racing ban during World War II?
I didn't know that.
You weren't allowed to hold a race, like a car race, an auto race,
Why?
to save resources.
Really?
So a lot of engine manufacturers switched over to make plane engines or fucking tank engines or shit like that. there's a lot of that. A lot of industry shifted over to World War II. What's it called? I don't know, fucking help or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. So like all that hype that built up from the Japanese attacking Pearl Harbor made all of our innovations like come a lot quicker than other countries. For example, we came out with the fucking Hellcat. So the Japanese are flying in these Zeros, and for the time, great fucking plane. They were lighter and faster than all of our planes. These are like fighter planes. So Japanese were fucking us up at the beginning, but we figured out some shit, built some new planes like the Hellcat, which was like, I mean, still to this day, like a pretty badass fucking plane, and it was very quick into that battle or the war in the Pacific that we turned the tides on the aerial warfare part of that and started fucking them up hard. They had no answer.
I didn't know that they banned racing. That was crazy. And
Yeah.
I bet that upsets you because I know a lot of people can't see, but Pepper's sitting here in a NASCAR shirt, looking like Dale Earnhardt's nephew, you know.
So the Indy 500, you know, that's like one of the biggest races in America. That track lay dormant for like 5 years, and there's photos of the track like right before they like restored it or whatever. There's like grass growing in the middle of the fucking track and shit. Like it's bad.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. And thank God you're here to fill us in on the racing industry during this time. You know.
Yeah.
What a tough time.
Hey, that's why I'm here, dude.
Yeah, and I'm glad you came with this good information. But in August 1944, it was announced by the Domei news agency that a flight instructor named Takeo Tagata was training pilots in Taiwan for
Great
suicide
pronunciation
missions.
for sure.
For suicide missions. How much are those guys paying attention in class when you're training for a suicide mission? What's
Well,
the enthusiasm like? What
I
are the party
think-
nights like there?
I think they trained him up and then told him what the mission was. Like I don't think they were like, "Yo, you're gonna fucking die. Learn how to fly a plane." I think there was like, "Learn how to fly a plane," and then, "Yo, you're gonna fucking die." I heard some. I was listening to Dan Carlin's podcast, Hardcore History, and he was talking about some of the nights before kamikaze runs, and you know they kind of treated them like, you know, like when prisoners get last meals and stuff. The night before their kamikaze missions, they were kind of like, "You guys do whatever you want. Let us know, like, if there's any special food or drink that you want, like, let us know. We'll fucking hook you up." But there was accounts where it's just like a bunch of grown men just like weeping and crying, drunk as shit on sake in a fucking room. It's like, man, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a misconception that all of these guys were like uber patriotic fucking like basically brainwashed robots that were hell bent on fucking keeping Japanese imperialism alive. It was a lot of just regular fucking dudes that were given absolutely no other option.
Yeah.
It was like either you go fly this plane into the ship, or we'll kill you, we'll kill your entire family, and we will make sure that nobody in your family from now to eternity will ever be a goddamn thing. Like, you'll just be crushed. You'll be... Because, like, their, like, dishonor shit, like, when it came to stuff like that, it's like, your family could be... It doesn't matter who the fuck... You could be Philip Kron running the goddamn world. And if you fuck up, if you, like, get taken as a POW or something, you're just, you know, might as well be shit on the bottom of the shoe.
I feel like if I was taken as a POW, though, I could, like, talk my way out of it or become friends with them, and that'd be cool to me.
And this is going to sound like sarcasm. This might sound hyperbolic, but this is for real what I believe. I believe, especially in let's just say 1943, okay? You get taken as a POW. Name Japan?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Phil Kron. You're so big. You're so jacked. Your jaw is so strong.
Yeah, it's like John Cena.
You could fight your way. No weapons. Just with your fists and willpower. You could fight your way out of any fucking POW camp in World War II.
Yeah. I feel like...
Name one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody's stopping.
Look, I've seen Rambo. Seen them all, right? That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, all those dudes are just walking around with those second-rate aftermarket machine guns, smoking pre-rolled cigarettes. They're just chilling out, slapping the girls' tails they pass by. Sneaking some gin here and there, and you could easily walk up behind them with a little rope or something.
It's called a garrote.
Is that what it's called?
Yep, that's what it's
I
called.
never knew what those were called. I figured it was just anything you could grab. I didn't know it was a thing.
I learned that in the John Benet Ramsey case. Rest in peace.
All right, yeah. Much respect to the Benet family. Please do not sue us. Is that how they killed that kid? Whoa, that's dark.
Yeah.
Who killed that kid? Did it? What?
I don't know.
We don't know. She just went missing, right?
Well, no, they found her pretty goddamn quick. But hey, if you're listening and you have an idea who killed John Benet Ramsey, leave it in the comments.
I bet Nancy Grace knows.
Dude, that was a fucked up one. Have you ever looked into that case hardcore?
No, not really.
It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of coverage on it.
There's a lot of people that think the brother did it. There's a lot of people that think the parents did it. There's some crazy fucking people that think it was a third party that basically CIA type shit snuck into the house and fucking did it. But yeah, no, it was not chill
We
at
should
all.
do a podcast on that.
No, I don't. I don't
Yeah,
like.
it's kind of weird.
I don't like kid death.
Yeah, it's kind of people feel weird about that.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Yeah.
The brother is weird though. If he came and stayed the night at my house, I'd keep an eye on him for sure.
Yeah. Don't let them watch your kids and stuff. Yeah, it's not gonna work. We got a little bit off topic.
What about the Japanese?
What
though?
about them Japanese? Let's see here. On 25th of October 1944, during the Battle of Leyte Gulf, the Kamikaze Special Attack Force carried out its first mission. 5 A-6M Zeros, led by Lieutenant Seki, were escorted to the target by leading Japanese ace Hiroshi Nishizawa, where they attacked several escort carriers. 1-0 attempted to hit the bridge of USS Kitkun Bay, but instead exploded on the port catwalk and cartwheeled into the sea. That's embarrassing.
I think I've seen a video of that.
Yeah, there probably is. There's a ton of video of this
Oh, yeah.
stuff. Like we gotta post some clips.
Yeah, the World War II was like. Have you ever watched World War II in color?
Yes,
Oh,
I've seen every
God,
episode.
so
So
good.
good. The series about the Germans.
Yeah.
And their whole campaign. Holy shit!
Like the bulge and stuff like that.
It was all about. It was half. This is the way I perceive it. I'm no military strategy expert, but it was half about your geographic location, strategy and all that stuff, and then it was half about getting fuel, food, and ammo to your soldiers, because that was a huge problem, getting fuel for the tanks. Because if you didn't have tanks, you were screwed. Like, you're dead. You're dead.
Well, that's another thing that the Japanese were doing. They would, they knew, so when they were doing all the island hopping in the Pacific, they would drop some Japanese troops off and be like, listen, you have enough resources to, last 6 days, okay?
Yeah.
You're going to need to stay here for a month. So, you need to go fuck up some locals, steal their resources so you can survive. It wasn't like a, see if you can do it. And if you can, that would be cool. That would, help us out a bunch. It was like, no. You either go fuck up these locals and take their shit, or you're just going to die. Because you don't have any fucking resources.
Right. Yeah. Without you take away fuel, the army's pretty much useless. Because the other side had fuel. The other side set up, like the U.S. set up base camps throughout the Germans' route. And they had fuel. They had supplies. They had an airfield where they can drop in stuff.
Yeah.
And the Germans were constantly moving. And that was part of their problem. They couldn't get supplies. And they're very rude people.
Yeah, they're rude as shit, dude.
Yeah.
I think the right guys won.
You think?
Hot take. I think the right guys won.
Here's a question: What if Germany won? Where would we be today?
I don't know, man. I haven't thought about that a bunch.
Somebody would have did something. Somebody would have dropped a nuke somewhere, and because that's too dangerous.
Yeah, that's the thing. Once we had the nukes, I mean, a nuke it's just a conversation ender. It's like, oh yeah, you think you're cute. You know what's fucked up though? You know, before this is why the nuke was good. Okay. A land invasion of Japan would have been not good for anybody. So at that time, Germany was done. Germany was fucking done. Mm-hmm. So it like not even really fucking a thing going on. So and that was another thing that helped us out with all this was we got to focus a lot of our shit to Japan. Mm-hmm. The firebombing of Tokyo, if you want to look up some just brutal fucking shit, like people literally watching other people cook.
Yep.
Like 300,000 people died in one bombing raid in Tokyo. And they were using like incendiary bombs and shit like that in Tokyo. Japanese architecture is a lot of wood and paper, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, what name something better to fuck that up than fire?
Yeah.
So before the nukes even dropped, they had killed like 300,000 people firebombing Tokyo, and you can read and listen to accounts about that. That's like just absolutely fucking brutal.
It's hard to imagine how many people is 300,000 people. It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, it's a statistic, not a fucking like a real thing.
Like, because, you know, when we hear about 2 people dying in a car wreck,
It's horrible.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Think about 300,000 people.
And they're not dying like, you know, oh, well, he had cancer.
Men, women, children, everyone.
No, they're like burning to death and
Yes.
shit. Like it's a brutal death. But I mean, the bombs were almost like a merciful end to that whole thing because they weren't gonna fucking stop.
Right. Yeah.
And there was a lot of people that was like mad at the upper echelon of the Japanese military that were like, dude, we are so fucked, we gotta stop. And they were just like, nope, we're gonna keep fucking going, keep going forward. I don't care if we don't have any fucking resources. I don't care if we're running low on troops. I don't care if our fucking navy's decimated. We gotta keep fucking going.
Yeah. Those 2 bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, I would pay big money. I would love to be in the war room of the Japanese hierarchy of the military before the first bomb, after the first bomb, before the second bomb, after the second bomb, to hear that conversation.
I mean, they would have to think, because nobody knew about it. The Manhattan Project was the best kept secret probably of all time. So nobody fucking knew that this was coming. And it had to have been like magic. It's like something that just blinked an entire city out of existence, basically. And then, because they didn't even, you know, whenever the first bomb dropped, they're like, oh man, that is so fucking terrible that happened. But then the fallout afterwards, how would you even perceive a nuclear fallout with no knowledge of a nuclear fallout even existing?
Right.
It's like these people are all just like incredibly fucking sick. They're like, their skin's falling off. We have no fucking idea. Yeah, I guess you would think it's like, is this like a chemical warfare thing? Is this like mustard gas? It's like, no, this is a nuclear fallout. Everybody gets to see it for the first time. It's like, dude.
Yeah, their kids are coming out messed up years down the line.
I mean, that's like years down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, that was, I don't know, man. Like, if I'm Japan and I got that mindset of a, you know, traditional Japanese,
Imperial Japanese
okay,
distinction. You can't be racist if it's dead.
That's gonna be our motto. I don't know, man. I'd be plotting revenge. Like, you drop 2 bombs on. Look, what if Japan did that to us, right? Back in 1940s, dropped 2 nuclear bombs, killed that many people.
Yeah,
Americans are gonna hate Japanese for a minute,
dude. Yes, but
Right.
they were so fucked. Like they had no chance. They fucking knew they had no chance of winning for sure. But like even like retaliation wasn't even a fucking option, just because they were. And the other thing too, the reason why those targets were chosen is because of the military infrastructure that existed in those cities. It wasn't just like I mean, it was kind of random. Like, it wasn't a great choice, but like they fucked up a lot of shit that the Japanese needed to fight the war in that shit, and they had been doing that like the whole time. If like once we got to the point where we could bomb mainland Japan after the Battle of Midway, they had no shot. They were fucked.
Yeah.
So I mean, after Midway they should have called it off, because I mean even they fucking knew. They knew that it was just, you know, like somebody already cut your jugular, you're gonna fucking die, and you're trying to slap fight with them. Like, they fucking knew that it was over.
But they didn't care. They wanted to go down to the last man.
They didn't want to be a bitch. They didn't want to, bring shame upon the country and all that shit. It's like, I mean, that's real cute.
Yeah.
Until everybody's fucking dead.
Right. And in the back of the room, there's always one guy that's like, hey, guys, can we be smart about this?
Yeah. And then you know what happened to that guy? They cut his head off.
Probably.
Yeah, no, that literally. Like, there were guys like that. It was like, hey, can we be fucking reasonable, please? Ching!
Yeah. What a rough time.
Yeah.
But the Japanese military began stockpiling hundreds of Tsurugi Okas, other aircraft, and suicide boats, I'd hate to be on one of those, for use against Allied forces expected to invade Japan. The invasion never happened, and few were ever used. How lucky would you feel if you were training on a suicide boat? And, they're like, hey, don't worry about it. We're good.
Well, like I said, they were very good at propaganda and morale, you know. So
no, they probably told them it was a suicide boat. These are Japanese people.
Dude.
They're loyal as shit. They're ready to die.
They are, but that is kind of a myth about the Japanese. That's kind of American propaganda about the Japanese. They're not just a bunch of brainwashed fucking robots. Like, they are real people and shit.
The real live Japanese people.
And they are fucking real fucking people.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't tell a dude like you are training to die, because nobody's gonna fucking run for that. It's like whenever the mission comes up, that's when they find out. It's not like throughout the entire fucking training thing. So you're thinking that like oh fuck yeah, we're gonna get on this boat and we're gonna do like some kick ass shit. They're gonna give us like we're gonna be like Navy SEALs and roll in there and fuck shit up, and they're gonna make a movie about us because we're kick ass. And then when the day comes, they're like, listen, guys, here's what we're gonna do. If you refuse, then we'll just kill you now, and we'll kill your family. But if you do go through with it, not only are you gonna die in like the most honorable way you could possibly fucking die, we're gonna financially take care of your family forever. Like, you're gonna be fucking good. Which they didn't know that the U.S. was gonna like basically take over their whole fucking country for a while. Anyways, but you know, they promise like either die and we're gonna fuck your whole family up, or die and your family's gonna be like fucking awesome for a while.
Yeah, I wonder what they did for the families that went down in those suicide attacks.
One thing that happened is like the night before they went out on the missions, they bumped their rank up by like 3 spots. So the same way in like the U.S. military, like you get paid by rank. So they automatically bumped their rank up like quite a few spots. They made them like captains or whatever. I don't fucking know rank shit. But they automatically did that. And then I think that was actually like it. But just like in the U.S. military, like if I was like an army guy or whatever and I got shot and died, then they would the U.S. military would take care of my family for some amount of time. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, we'll look into that, or we won't.
We
because
won't.
We're not going to
It's
do
fine.
a part 2 to this.
No.
So if you know what they did, please put it in the comments.
Tell somebody.
Yeah, tell somebody else who gives a shit. But basically, Allied gunners were trying to figure out how to stop these sons of
What
bitches.
page you on, dude?
I'm on 8.
Okay.
Am I too far?
I've been trying to find out what page you're on for like the past 15 minutes.
Yeah, so basically, Allied gunners were trying to figure out how to stop these sons of bitches, right? Because they're flying their planes into all their shit and killing all their people,
Being
right?
real annoying.
So they were like, hey, let's try this light rapid-fire anti-aircraft weapon, such as the 20-millimeter Oerlikon autocannons. They were useful, though the 40-millimeter Bofors, who names this stuff, were preferred. And though their high rate of fire and quick training remained advantageous, they lacked the punch to take down a kamikaze bearing down on the ship they defended. But they found out that how do you say that? 538 caliber, 127 millimeter. I don't know. I feel
it's a 5-inch.
we need to get one of them firing range guys out
Yeah,
there.
I mean, it's a 5-inch gun.
Okay. It had sufficient firepower to blow enemy planes out of the air at a safe range from the ship, which is preferable since even in a heavily damaged kamikaze could reach its target. The speedy Okas presented a very difficult problem for anti-aircraft fire since their velocity made fire control extremely difficult. Here's what I want to touch on this last sentence. By 1945, large numbers of anti-aircraft shells with radio frequency proximity fuses.
So I watched
What
a
is that?
YouTube video about that probably about a month ago. I don't remember the guy who came up with it, but it's a really fucking sick idea. And they went through a lot of like different phases of this shit. So at one time they would basically have a kitchen timer on these bombs. So you would set it, but instead of a time, it would be an altitude. So if you wanted it to blow up at 1,000 feet, you would set it to 1,000 feet, boom, and it would blow up at 1,000 feet. It's basically the same thing, but the electronic components are more rugged. So that was like one of the biggest hurdles that they had putting electronics into bombs was they're going through like 5,000 G's or something. Like basically everything they put in there would get fucking annihilated the second that the primer went off and it went into the air. So they had to make these super rugged. They packed the entire thing in wax to hold everything steady. There's a lot of fucking sick-ass technology that went into these things. But I believe the radio ones was once they lost radio frequency, it was basically like a dead man trigger, and it blew up.
Ah, okay.
So I think what it was you could decrease like the range electronically of the radio frequency, and once it lost radio frequency,
that makes sense. Who knows if it's right? But on average, it was 7 times more effective than regular shells.
yeah, once that happened and we figured that out, it was, I mean, I can't even explain to you like how much more effective that was than what we had before, and we were fucking planes up left and fucking right.
Yeah. The final phase, the peak period of the kamikaze attack frequency, came during April to June 1945 at the Battle of Okinawa. Very famous
all know
battle.
that one.
We all know that one. Shit, I know people that were there. On 6 April 1945, waves of aircraft made hundreds of attacks in Operation Kikusui. You want to say that C word? Floating
chrysanthemums.
Okay.
Come on, man. Read a book every once in a while.
Yeah. They lost. The attacks expended 1,465 planes. That's a lot of planes. Many warships of all classes were damaged, some severely, but no aircraft carriers, battleships, or cruisers were sunk by the kamikaze at Okinawa.
But hey, I'm reading right here. Suicide attacks by planes or boats in Okinawa sank or put out of action 30 U.S. warships and 2 merchant ships. 3 merchant ships.
I feel
That's
like
a
that's
lot.
I don't know if that's a lot.
Dude, you know how long... Okay. You remember when that boat... I don't know. I don't know the details. So we live in an area that does a lot of shipbuilding, like
Absolutely.
U.S. Navy ships and stuff. So we build ships I mean, not we, but like this area builds ships, and they also repair ships sometimes. There was a boat like a couple years ago that something happened to it. I don't remember what happened to it, but it got fucked up, and it came here for repair. It was being repaired for like a year plus. Maybe it was 6 months, but who knows? But you're putting that boat out of action for that fucking long to get repaired. So 30 ships being out of action is a really big fucking deal. That's bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, it depending on what boat it is, I don't think that one specific. I don't think it was like a bunch of carriers and stuff like that. That's like the real motherfuckers, because the whole point of a lot of the other ships is to protect that fucking carrier. So there's probably a lot of the support ships. But that ain't nothing. That's pretty significant.
And a lot of the new boats today are built. They're 99% aluminum. They're all aluminum.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the new whatever class it is.
Yeah. And they're built for speed and stealth and all
Yeah.
this stuff. And I worked on a few of those boats. But it was pretty interesting because when I worked on one of these boats that were being built down here in the South, very famous boat, Mr. John McCain came down, and it was a USS McCain. And everybody's happy. He's breaking the bottle. He's christening the boat on the thing, and I'm watching and stuff.
But then when they broke the bottle on the boat, it cracked a hole because aluminum is a shitty.
Well, McCain said, like, look, we have data that says these boats, when they get hit by a torpedo or a bullet or a missile, it goes through them like butter. Because aluminum is aluminum.
But
it's not a very strong, but it's light.
Yeah, but they're like the close. Oh my god, what is it called? It's like CWIS close something. Like there's so many systems. Like basically, there's an electronic wave bubble around that boat where if there's anything incoming, it gets blown out of the fucking water.
Mm-hmm.
Close. I don't know. You fucking seen them. They use the same gun for one of them, like the aerial ones. They use the same gun that's in a A-10 Warthog.
Yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are fun.
Yeah. So they use those to blast like missiles out of the sky.
Yeah.
Which, hey, when you look at it and you see it happen, cost effective? No.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
You probably use like $10,000 of fucking ammunition for every 5 seconds that thing's in action.
Yeah, I've seen the guns on these boats up close and personal.
Yeah.
I saw the guy, and how about this cool job? The guy that loads the bullets. Like when the boat's done, they do the sea trial, everything's good. The governor's there, everybody's good. They're like, hey, this boat's a boat. We're good to go.
Yeah.
The boat's done. They bring in the guy. This guy's the most confident. He's got a slight gut on him. He looks rather unhealthy.
Just like me.
Probably makes $300,000 a year.
Just like me.
Yeah.
Way too confident, kind of fat.
Forklift. Well, come on. I wouldn't say that.
Nice.
You look good.
All right.
Brings in a forklift. Brings in these big boxes, right? And he loads the bullets into the gunner, the front gunner of these battleships.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. The bullets are as big as your arm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how much are these bullets at Academy? You know, I'm making jokes, you know. And you're talking about $200,000, $300,000 worth of bullets.
Oh, right. Oh. How much per round?
Look, don't ask me these questions. I
Okay.
don't know. It was 9 a.m. I was half drunk on this boat. I got my little hard hat on. I'm trying to tell people to be safe and put their fucking glasses on. Get your glasses, you know.
Yeah.
I'm that guy. But the bullets were impressive, and he's loading them in. And I was like, well, what happens when they fire these bullets? Because it goes duh, 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 duh.
Yeah.
Like that's the fire rate that it does. And there's two of them.
That's the anti-aircraft.
Is it?
Yeah.
I
The
don't know.
tut, 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 tut.
Because I asked the dumbass question. I was very young.
Yeah.
I asked the dumbass question. I'm like, look, I mean, if I'm just one guy, you're not going to hit me. Because the accuracy was shit. The accuracy wasn't great. But they said, well, it doesn't matter because we're going to shoot 100 bullets at aircraft, another boat, and all it takes is one bullet.
Yeah.
One bullet will sink a boat. Because if the other boat's like our boat, it sucks. It's like, and I was like, ah. And by the way, they're doing 40 miles an hour in the sea while shooting this gun.
Yeah.
So they can't be shot at either.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like nothing can get it even because they also have like a like the ocean and the sky for like miles around is shut down, and if you enter that space, they will contact you and be like, "What are you doing?" And if they don't like the answer, they'll just blow you out of the fucking literally blow you out of the water.
Yeah.
Like, it's sick. Our Navy right now, especially, our Navy cannot be fucked with. Fuck every other country.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm 100% sure. Fuck every other country. Our Navy right now. Fuck the Army, fuck the Marines, fuck everybody else. Just the Navy right now. You know how many fucking countries that we could eliminate with a boat. One boat. How many countries we could wipe off the face of the fucking planet. I'm not talking about the whole Navy. I'm talking about a boat.
I don't know. I think you're wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You know who's got the biggest Navy?
Go ahead.
You'll never guess.
China.
North Korea.
North Korea?
Yep.
Okay. No, they don't.
According to Google, they do.
Okay. Google is run by North Korea.
Okay, Business Insider, to be
No.
more specific. North Korea has 967 ships. China is number 2 with 714 ships.
Okay. I could have 500 canoes behind my house and be like, I got the biggest navy in Mississippi,
Well,
and I would be
fair
right.
point.
And
Fair
I would be
point.
right.
Fair point.
I could have a canoe with a fucking a 38 special on each canoe and call that a navy, because that's what North Korea. Look, listen, North Korea. I'm talking to you right now, okay? Listen to me, North Korea. You want this fucking smoke? You're already in the Stone Age.
Yeah.
We'll set you back to the dinosaurs when dinosaurs are walking around. You're fucked. Okay, all their nuclear tests and shit like that.
Nuclear, yeah.
I don't believe any of it. Why would you believe any of that?
That's
they can't
true.
feed
They're
their
lying.
fucking civilians.
They're lying.
They're fucking
they
lying.
probably don't have ammunition for the boats. They probably don't have men for the boats that are fed. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Like, North Korea is not in a great spot
It's
financially.
a joke. If like we went over there and actually like saw what the fuck was going on, because they don't release anything they don't want to be released. It's completely controlled. Like all the information that comes out and in is completely filtered through that government. We know that like the whole fucking government's a bunch of fucking maniacs. Why would they tell the truth?
Okay, you might be right on this.
Yeah, I'm
because-
100% right about that.
Yes.
I'll concede on like any other point that I ever make, but this one I am 100% right about.
Okay.
that.
Let me. Here's another article from the Diplomat, and we will post sources. We will not. Post
We will not post
sources.
sources. 'Cause that's too much work.
It's too much work, and we're a two-man team. So China has the world's largest navy. That doesn't matter to the U.S. because the U.S. has more technology that could
Yeah.
jack them up. But they do have more boats. But the U.S. capabilities are bolstered by its allies' navies as well.
Oh,
because
yeah.
our allies
We don't
are-
fight alone, dude.
Yeah, well, our allies are way bigger than China's allies.
Our crew,
Yeah.
name them off, dude.
Britain.
UK, and hey, historically, like throughout history, the UK has had the most badass navy because they're a fucking island and they have a lot of shit to protect. So we got the UK, awesome. Australia, they don't do shit, but they have like a lot of cool ass gear and shit, and their dudes are like unfuckwithable. They're fucking great. Canada,
They're gonna.
they're nice.
They're
They're
nice
nice people.
people.
They're nice people.
good people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, being cold gives you character, you know?
Yeah. I mean,
Who else is an American ally?
the-
running out after
France,
France? No.
right?
No.
But
I
they-
mean,
but
fuck
they're-
the French.
yeah, they're kinda-
dude,
they don't
come on.
help.
Why'd you even say that?
I don't
That's
know.
embarrassing to say.
But what matters these days?
Oh, Korea? South Korea.
absolutely.
South Korea.
Yeah,
South
they're very nice people.
Yeah,
They'll-
but they got cool shit too. A lot of fucking people too.
Samsung.
Bitch. Samsung.
Yeah.
All up. Like other stuff too though. K-pop? Come on, K-pop
K-pop's running Twitter right
is
now.
running the world. What
Yes.
else?
South Korea. They
Kimchi?
Have they have the fastest Wi-Fi in the world. I know that, and the Wi-Fi is free. That's what I heard from a Korean. I know because I brushed elbows with a Korean one time, and he told me that. The number one military superpower in the world is the United States Air Force, which is what matters
True.
because 90% of all this warfare is being done, by air power.
True.
That's how
100%
wars are
true.
fought, the drones really changed the game. It's here's the ranks. Here's the ranks, and this is from legit website WDMMA. We'll post it. We will not post it. United States Air Force, United States Navy, Russian Air Force, United States Army, United States
right.
Marines. That's the top 5.
Okay. I really don't want to hear Pete from Russia.
Yeah, they didn't shut their mouth.
I mean, they're poor as shit too.
And you can make fun of Vladimir Putin can go on TV and make fun of Biden all he wants. He can say, "Oh, the guy's old," blah blah blah, and I'll say the same thing. But you fuck with us, you'll still get fucked up.
Oh, they will get fucked up.
Fucked
I'm not.
up.
I don't see Russia. As
And he knows that. He knows that because I remember Vladimir Putin was asked a question, like about his aggression towards some battleships or some fighter jets that are in his airspace.
Yeah,
and
I
he was
remember
like
that.
flying by, and he said, and he laughed and said, "Look, we spend X amount on our military. The U.S. spends 50 times what we spend a year on our military. Do you think we want to go fight them? Hell no."
Dude, so the brilliance of the Cold War was we just through like a big dick competition, we completely bled Russia dry.
Absolutely.
I mean, we killed Russia, never fired. I mean, a couple shots were fired, but like basically never fired a single shot. It was just a big dick competition.
Yeah.
And we killed a whole fucking country, the biggest country in the world. Killed them. I don't want to hear a fucking peep. Hey, yeah, Russia, you want to start some shit? Yeah. Bitch, you're still flying MiGs, okay? Okay? Hey, an F-22, if you want to talk about air superiority, which is, like you said, that is what matters. And that's kind of what we're talking about here. You want to talk about air superiority?
Absolutely.
It's not even, like, it's embarrassing to everybody else.
Embarrassing. It really is. Russia needs to get it together and stop talking that shit.
I don't, yeah.
Maybe
sure.
get a new leader. He's not a black. Let's be real. He's not a black belt. He said he was a black belt.
In judo? I think he might be a black belt in judo.
I mean, look. Are you going to deny Putin a black belt?
True.
If he goes to the
True.
HR department of the karate school and he's like, "Hey,
Okay.
I've been doing this for a couple of years. I think I need a black belt."
All right.
Give
This
him-
might
give the man a
sway
black
you.
belt.
This might sway you. Guess who his best friend is?
Who's that?
Steven Seagal.
That's not true. There's no way that's true.
It's 100% true.
How about Steven Seagal? Can we talk about Steven Seagal for a minute?
wanna talk about Steven
what
Seagal?
the hell?
Are you talking about America's 1 martial artist ever?
And America's favorite cop
Yeah. Oh, don't forget that.
in Louisiana.
Hey, and hey, Stevens. Okay, I'm sure this probably doesn't exist, but I want it to exist. I want a YouTube channel that's just called Steven Seagal Talks to Black People, because it is so funny. Steven Seagal would be like, "Yeah, so today we're gonna ride down to the neighborhood and see what's going on," and they like arrest somebody. He's like, "Hey, what's up, man? Hey, you hey
brother.
Hey,
Hey, brother.
brother. What is going on,
Brother
my
man."
brother?" It's like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? He is I don't know. He's a horrible person. Like, oh, and not to mention, like a shit ton of like sexual assaults and stuff. Like pretty much confirmed sexual assaults and everything. But I guess he's so ridiculous. Like he didn't even get caught up in like Me Too and stuff like that.
Yeah, but we don't really know if
Masterpiece.
we don't really know if all those sexual assaults are true.
100%.
I mean, what was he doing? Like popping girls on the tail?
No, he was. It's worse. It's a lot worse. You can. It's on the internet. You can Google it.
He is Steven Seagal though.
I don't want him because he is litigious. So
I'm waiting for the day that Steven Seagal gets like in a fight and just gets knocked out by some
oh my god.
average guy.
Okay,
It's gonna happen.
let's go with all right, the current bantamweight champion, Brandon Moreno, 135 pounds. He would, maybe will kill Steven Seagal. And I'm not saying kill. I'm not saying like dominate him and do very well. I'm saying end his life.
Have you seen Under Siege? I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know. Steven Seagal knows pressure points.
Yeah,
One pressure point.
Aikido.
Yeah.
Like the Aikido guy, when asked if Aikido is a effective fighting strategy,
Yeah.
he was like, "No, it's like it's basically like passive fighting.
Yeah.
Like it's how to fight somebody if you don't want to fight."
I don't know. We got to get Steven Seagal on here.
Okay, I'll make a call. I
Can
guess.
you make a call? I mean, he'd do it. What's he got going on, right?
I mean, literally, like being friends with Vladimir Putin.
He's probably getting knighted right now.
which
in
is kind
the
of
UK.
sick. I mean, it's kind of sick.
Is he really friends with Vladimir
Yeah,
Putin?
100%. Yeah.
How do you know that? Like, is there
Oh, he's a Russian citizen.
really?
Yeah, look into it, man.
I will look into it. Anyway,
All right, kamikazes.
Yeah.
They weren't cool.
yeah, but to end that, Vice Admiral Matomi Yugaki, I'm on page 9. The commander of the IJN 5th Air Fleet, based in Kyushu.
I would say Kyushu.
Okay, Kyushu. Participated in one of the final kamikaze attacks on American ships on the 15th of August, 1945, hours after Japan's announced surrender.
What the fuck? Yugaki. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. They
Your
surrendered.
radio
and then-
doesn't work.
And it's like, hey, let's do some more. Let's
Yeah,
go ahead
he was like, let's get one more jab in.
asshole,
Fucking asshole.
son of a bitch.
Should have nuked that little bit. I'm just kidding. we definitely shouldn't like flippantly fucking throw around nukes for.
If
for
podcasts could get canceled, this is going to be canceled very.
No,
quick.
it's fine, dude.
You think we're good?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
The Imperial Japanese is fine.
But here's some fun facts according to the U.S. Air Force webpage. And let's be honest, a lot of this is propaganda.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too that people don't understand because people are always like, oh, the Germans and their propaganda is so crazy. The Japanese and their propaganda is so crazy, dude. The Americans were like the best at propaganda, and that's kind of one of the reasons why we won the war. Like,
Yeah.
don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing it. It's happening now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say more than ever, but like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, crazy.
Look, turn on Fox News, CNN on 9 p.m. on a Tuesday night.
Oh.
It's propaganda.
Yeah, get
Say what you want. Pick a side. It doesn't matter. It's all propaganda.
Yeah.
They're trying to sway your thought on the
That's
whole
why
thing.
you shouldn't vote, dude. It doesn't fucking matter.
Okay. I like voting because I like standing in line to vote. Is that weird?
You like standing in line?
I do. I love standing in line to vote because you hear all these old dudes and women talking about their, especially up here at the Latimer Community Center. Go stand in line at the Latimer Community Center on voting day, and you'll see some.
Can you believe they're letting black people vote this time? And that's not far off. Latimer, Mississippi.
They're good people.
But they don't say black people. They say another word.
Yeah. Yeah. It's-
Yeah. Hey, it's sad but true, just like the Metallica song.
We're not going to indoctrinate my kids.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Anyway, approximately 2,800 kamikaze attackers sank 34 Navy ships, damaging 368 others, killing 4,900 sailors. That's a lot of sailors.
Yeah.
And wounded over
Too many.
4,800. Despite radar detection and cueing, airborne interception, attrition, and massive anti-aircraft barrages, 14% of kamikazes survived to score a hit on the ship. Nearly 8.5% of all ships hit by kamikazes sank. 8.5. That's not a. I mean,
8.5%. But okay,
sank.
sank
Sank.
is the worst. Though.
Yeah.
So 100% of those, I'm assuming, sustained damage that had to be repaired in port, which is not good. Now I'm assuming most of them like kind of limped around. It's like that part of the ship. Don't use it because it's fucked up. What you look like you're really excited to say it.
Yeah. Well, the ships that took the most damage were the ones with the wooden decks. Like
True.
maybe let's not use wooden decks.
Well, that's another thing.
Flammable.
Yeah, but that's like what they were doing back then. But once they figured out steel decks, and they're like, well, they kind of made steel decks to combat kamikaze. So there was some boat. I don't fucking remember, dude. Hey, do your own research, okay? Listen, do your own fucking research. There was a boat that had like steel decks, and a kamikaze hit it, and basically just like boop, like glanced off the top and did nothing. They basically swept the plane parts off the deck and just kept rolling. And then everybody saw that, they were like, "Oh shit, maybe we should do that."
Well, through this whole thing, I haven't seen anywhere where the French did shit to help.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, France.
Yeah, thanks.
Fucking-
What did they create? Mayonnaise?
Oh, they gave us the champagne to bash against ships
Yeah.
whenever we.
What
yeah,
what
thanks,
what they make?
fucking piece of
Didn't they
shit.
invent fedoras? I don't know.
Oh, if they did, then they should get a nuke.
That's probably some Latino stuff for the fedoras, right?
Oh wow, come on, man.
Who
but-
invented fedoras?
I don't know. It does sound like a Latin word.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Hey
We'll do it.
Siri, no.
Yeah, we'll do a we'll do a podcast on it.
Can
But
we-
yeah,
can we not?
there's a lot of evidence about the recruitment after all this stuff happened, right?
Yeah.
And right here and in Mobile, there was a documentary on Mobile. Like all the dudes joined the army after that.
Oh yeah.
And they were running. There was the next morning after the Pearl Harbor attack. There was a line around the recruitment office. People wanting to sign up, and all basically, and all the women went to work in the bullet factories and the boot factories and the helmet factories and the ship factories and all that stuff, and worked their ass off, and dropped them bombs.
Whenever people say like the greatest generation, man, like it wasn't only it really was the entire fucking country came together and pooled all the fucking resources for like this one fucking thing to win this war. It was incredible.
It really was. I just realized that this might be the best, most accurate history podcast that's ever been
Yeah,
done.
here's the thing, guys. A lot of you people that like history podcasts, I'm assuming you like Dan Carlin and Daniele Bellelli and all these other fucking losers.
Yeah,
is what
losers.
I'll call them.
Yeah,
Losers.
yeah.
Okay. You think Dan Carlin gets pussy? Nope. Guess who gets pussy?
Who's that?
Me and you. Okay.
Fair point.
Yeah. So
Fair point.
that's all I'm gonna say. Do you want to listen to some fucking like autistic nerd who fucking just dick dry as shit 24/7? Or you want to listen to some fucking? Yeah, I mean,
Well, there's 3 pages left of this, but it's after the war, and we don't care about that stuff. We don't.
after the war, everything was awesome
yeah, was it?
for us. Yeah.
What was? Because everything ended what 1945.
Yes.
That's when everything went down.
Yeah.
How fun was a 1946 summer in America? You know what I mean?
Oh, sick.
Like
Well,
for the dudes that made it back, right?
true. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of like mourning death and stuff.
Sure.
Because
A lot of people died.
But I mean, really though, if you look at like casualties, we made it out in. Well, we also started late. We started late, okay, but I'm not saying that it wasn't a big deal, but proportionately, we made it out incredibly well. If you look at like the people that the UK lost, very bad. Japan, very bad.
Yeah, we gotta
Germany-
find those numbers. Yeah, we need
Germany, very bad. Russia, don't even get me fucking started.
Yeah.
Russia lost like most of their guys. I'm not talking about like guys that they sent. Like most of their men, most of their adult men died in World War II. Pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, we'll look it up. It doesn't matter. We're gonna put up
30% sure that's an actual fact.
Again, we're gonna put up our resources for this.
I mean, we keep saying that, but just look up Wikipedia.
but we're
and that's
not.
what it is.
We're not putting
Yeah.
up our sources.
It's fine, dude. Go listen to Hardcore History if you want some real shit. Wikipedia. There's books and stuff. I guess go watch World War II in color. Me and Phil agree. That's an incredible program. We've both watched every episode. It's fucking great.
I've laid in bed at many a night watching World War II in
It's
color.
a tough thing to go to sleep to.
It is. And it's a tough thing to go to the office the next day and act normal about.
Yeah.
Because, you're sitting at the coffee pot and everybody's talking about cutting their grass, or the wife wants to go to the Blueberry Festival this weekend. I think we're going to do it.
Yeah, and
like,
then-
shut your mouth. You don't know hardship.
Yeah. And they're just like, have you ever heard of the Rape of Nan King?
Yeah. Have you ever been in a trench
Yeah.
next to all your dead friends?
Oh, dude. World War One. We got to do something on World War One eventually. But you want to talk about the worst thing that humans have ever been through?
Yeah.
World War One.
Yeah.
It is so, and dude, it's fucked up that they don't teach it in school. How much time did you spend in school on World War One?
Very little. Very
I mean,
little.
like a day, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't even think that. Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah. No.
Well, that's the guy that sparked it off.
Oh, I thought that was a band. But
And
yeah.
then it is also. And then oh, that's the first one they figured out airplanes. And that's basically all you fucking know.
Yeah.
And you know who was involved.
Yeah.
And you know that well, I don't know. No, fuck that. I will say it. It's hard to say this because of what happened. But Germany got so completely fucked over by the treaty that was signed after World War One, and that created the powder bed, the bed of gunpowder that Hitler sparked and turned into fucking Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
You can't beat a country. We learned then, and it was a big fucking learning moment. We learned that you can't just dominate a country in war and then make a treaty where there's no zero upside. You can't have any fucking respect by the victor. You're just so completely fucked. German inflation, I'm sure you've heard about that, where they're trying to pay back their war debts and shit, and people were literally bringing wheelbarrows full of cash to try to pay for a loaf of bread because of out of control inflation. So you can't beat down a country that fucking bad and not expect them to eventually do some crazy shit.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, the treaty, I think it was the Treaty of Versailles. I mean, that was a big fuck up in world history.
Yeah.
Just because, you gotta give them something.
Yeah.
You gotta give them an opportunity to rebuild, and that was absolutely not what happened.
Well,
But we should definitely go through World War One
Yeah.
and maybe break World War One up, and not just do a World War one, but maybe we should break it up into 4 sections or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, we should do it a 3-part or a 4-part on that, depending. Yeah, because there's a lot there. There's a lot of small individual stories that we could go through. Ton of good stuff. But in the end, those sons of bitches got what they deserved. Am I right? Who knows? Everybody's fighting for the country, right?
Yeah.
They all had their own
I mean,
propaganda.
yeah.
They're probably good people. If you met the people in the damn bar the night before, you'd probably get along. Probably have
I
a good
will
time.
say though, I know you can't really say it, but Germany really did get fucked. Germany really did get
They kind of
fucked.
did a bad thing.
Yeah.
They kinda
Well,
did
no,
a bad
not
thing.
in World War One.
Oh,
We're talking about World War One.
Okay.
Yeah, in World War One, yeah, they tried to do some fuck shit, but
Yeah.
they got their ass kicked. But then that wasn't good enough
Yeah.
for the Axis powers, and they really shoved their face at it and fucking stepped on their head and then farted in their ear and fucking fucked their girlfriend in front of them and everything else.
Rude.
And
yeah.
then Germany was like, this is shitty. I don't like this. And they retaliated.
Yeah, we can't have it. We can't have it. There's no place in today's society for that stuff. You know what I mean? Even though it still goes on in certain
Yeah, I
countries.
was just thinking about all the countries that we've done that to.
Yeah.
Lately. It's not very cool.
Yeah, it's bad. But I think we've pretty much covered the entire Pearl Harbor kamikaze pilot history here. After listening to this podcast, if you can't go into a bar with a legit historian and talk about this, with a clear mind and hit them with facts, then you weren't paying attention.
You weren't
because
paying attention.
We hit pretty much every fact that ever happened. Don't watch the movie. The movie sucked. It was 3 hours
Yeah.
long. It's a terrible movie.
I wasn't even going to bring up the movie. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's a terrible movie. Shout out to the people that made it. Hope you're not working in the movie industry, making more bad movies.
I mean, they're like the top. I mean, it's depressing to even talk about.
It really is. It sucks. But yeah, I guess we'll sign off there, right?
Yeah, man. Go please, because this is, I guess, probably our first episode. Please fucking leave ratings and reviews. That helps us out a shit ton.
Absolutely.
Tell a friend if you had a little bit of fun. Tell a friend. If you hated this, keep your goddamn mouth shut. We don't need to hear from you.
Keep your mouth shut. And I'll tell you what, if you hated this and you leave a bad rating and you live in my town, we're gonna meet in a spot in the woods and fist fight over it. Because I don't give a shit. I'll fight you right now. You know what I mean?
What?
Like, what?
I mean, that's a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah,
than
I got a little carried away. Yeah. I don't want to fight anybody, right? I'm a nice guy.
Keep going.
Yeah, okay. Well,
I was having fun.
Okay. Can I start over?
Yeah, we'll just we'll edit this part out.
Yeah.
What did I say to okay, yeah, and 3.
Yeah. So
if you, all right,
I'll go.
We'll try it. Are you gonna go without the prompt?
Yeah. If you leave anything less than a 5-star review on this episode, and you live in my town, I'm gonna fight your face. I don't give a shit, dude. I train in the black arts of mixed martial.
All right, so we're gonna edit that part out. Obviously,
that part out.
We're gonna edit that part out.
I meant to say dark arts of MMA.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's get like 3 seconds of silence, and let me tee you up for that, and then maybe you can not say something racist for once in your fucking life.
That wasn't racist. We're talking about the dark arts of MMA, okay?
Yeah. I get it.
Like jiu-jitsu is not the way to go. Judo is not the way to go. The way I train is the way to go. Okay, I have an outside gym. That
is true.
It is true. It's very impressive.
It is sick as shit.
Yeah.
And hey, real quick, just a compliment to you and the people around here.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever pulled up and there wasn't activity in the gym area.
Yeah. Oh, we go hard, dude.
Yeah.
You think I look like this because I was sitting around waiting for the bus?
No.
Hell no, dude. I got a bad diet and I'm still jacked.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not a gym that just sits around and collects dust.
Yeah, dude.
Y'all throw some fucking weight.
We throw some weight, dude. Me and my guys out here. I mean, we drink Bud Light and we eat Nutter Butters and L Fudge all day. We don't give a shit because there's protein in it, there's carbs in it, and we eat burritos at night. And dude, we slam it. Come over here and bench 350. You're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. You know who can? This guy. You know who doesn't look like he can? This guy. But I can do it. I'll do it.
If you want to get embarrassed by some fucking high school kids with pit vipers on, come over to Phil's house.
Straight up, their shorts are too small and they wear pit vipers. And
annoying.
Dude, benching 250 all day, 16, 15 years old. I don't know how old they are. It's all the same. They've been the same age for like 6 years.
They can't legally buy beer. That's
yeah,
all
they're
we know.
weird. I mean, they could be out there selling drugs, shooting kids like all the other vagrant kids around here are doing.
They're
out here getting jacked.
Yeah.
Like they're smelling the ammonia. They're out here with weight belts with their names on it, slapping each other in the tail and the hamstring. It's a good time. So if we ever invite you on the podcast and you train, we'll do a thing on it.
Yeah. We're not going to invite anybody on the podcast.
We're not going to invite anybody on the
We
podcast.
will have a guest. Actually, I do have a guest lined up. I haven't discussed. We'll talk about it later, I guess.
We'll talk about it later.
All right. Real quick, shouts out Kevin Durant, who the concrete guy from Austin, Texas, who said black arts matter.
Okay. Kevin Durant is the Brooklyn Net basketball player.
No, he's my friend. He's a concrete guy from Austin.
His name's
Texas.
Kevin Durant, though.
Yeah, his name is Kevin
okay.
Durant.
Shout out to that guy because for having the name Kevin Durant.
He does incredible concrete stamping. Have you ever seen concrete stamping?
No,
dude. It's like a whole art within itself. But like I guess you like pour concrete and then he's from Dallas, not Austin. My bad. But then you stamp like different designs in it, so you can make it look like a tile.
Yeah.
You can make it look like fucking wood grain.
Yeah.
It is sick as fuck. And then you can stain the concrete and different shit like that.
that's amazing. I'm sure rich people utilize that all the time.
Oh, it's incredible.
good.
But I have no idea what his business is called. Just Google it. Figure it out. Hey, we're not here to give you like accurate information, okay?
Nope.
We're here to have a good time. I guess-
And if you want to sponsor us,
that's it.
if you want to get your stuff out there, because we're averaging what 220,000 downloads per episode right now. It's only going to go
Sure.
further because we're going to the moon with this. If you want to advertise with us, shoot us a message, shoot us an email. It's 15,000 per mention. It's a lot less than that, but we'll get you on here. And we'll
I'll make a
dress
Gmail
better.
tonight.
Yeah, make a Gmail tonight.
Yeah.
We'll call it historybuffs@gmail. Whatever.
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But thank
All
you
right.
guys for watching.
Have a good
Or
night.
listen. Have a good night. Bye.